Crown Street, Carlisle, immediately south of Carlisle Citadel Station. Everything departing south from the city, whether on the West Coast Main Line, the Tyne Valley route, the Shetland Carlisle line, or the Cumbrian Coast Railway, must cross this bridge. Any bridge strike here, and they do happen, brings the entire traffic from Carlisle, with the sole exception of ScotRail's services to Dumfries, Kilmarnock and Glasgow via the old Glasgow and South Western Railway, to a halt, until engineers have inspected the structure and declared it safe to carry trains. The Maryport and Carlisle Railway's original station was Water Street to the left of the picture, but was quickly replaced by Crown Street Station to the immediate right of the picture. Avanti's West Coast pendolinos do tend to make for a drab grey procession, but not this one, operating the 10:30 service from London Euston to Glasgow Central. The Midland Pullman is sitting at London Road Junction, waiting for the 13:55 to Newcastle to clear the station exit. It's scheduled to arrive into platform 4, so let's hope it does. That's it. That's it. The train has come from Gerrard's Cross in Buckinghamshire, picking up at various points in the home counties. It won't hang about here, but will move off to Upperby Depot for servicing. Its return journey will be by the ultra-scenic Cumbrian coast, and I'm planning to travel on to Harrington for aerial footage of it wending its way along the coast. Now, if I were a betting man, I'd lay odds that that pair is asking the driver to give them a blast of his horn as he departs. I had intended to take the 14:10 train for Harrington, giving me plenty of time to explore possible filming locations. But this turned up, and I couldn't miss the opportunity to film it. It's not a common sight here at the Citadel. Universal barrier vehicles are fitted with a unique coupler that allows them to be coupled up to almost any other type of coupler, so allowing a locomotive to operate with stock with which it would otherwise be incompatible. It's heading for the storage facility at Eastriggs, between Gretna Green and Annan, on the old Glasgow and South Western line, so we'll have to wait here for a clear path up the main line. All Avanti, Transpennine and ScotRail trains will be given priority over it. Waiting for this to depart, I've missed my train for the coast route, but there's another which will get me to Harrington in time for aerial filming. Now we hear an announcement that its journey beyond Workington has been cancelled. Northern Rail are utterly unreliable these days. So it's down to Vasey's just beyond Crown Street, where I arrive just in time to catch the Pullman stock returning from Upperby Depot. A fairly quick turnaround is on the cards. The train was originally scheduled to depart from Platform 1, which would have been much better for aerial filming than the Platform 3 which has been substituted. How much quieter the platforms are looking than on Saturday, when Blue Peter was hauling a train along the same coastal route. I wonder how many people will be turning out to view or film today's train along the old M&C line. The Pullman turns onto the Maryport and Carlisle Railway via a severe curve with a 10 miles per hour speed restriction. Very few major railway stations have attractive surroundings these days. Edinburgh Waverley perhaps. Can't think of any others, but would welcome suggestions. The entire length of the train must be clear of that curve before the driver can accelerate to the new speed limit, 20 miles per hour, which applies until clear of Carlisle Junction. That wasteland to the left of the train was the engine sheds of the Glasgow and South Western Railway. The Maryport and Carlisle's facilities were on the now overgrown opposite side of the line. We're now approaching Carlisle Junction, which still gives access to the rump of the old Carlisle avoiding line via Bog Junction. Once clear of the junction, the driver can open up his throttle. It will be some hours before regaining the West Coast Main Line, where the train's design speed of 125 miles per hour can be achieved. The Cumbrian coast route is a very slow one, with spectacular scenery to be enjoyed at leisure. We head off towards the first remaining station, Dalston. The line from Carlisle to Maryport is delightful. Not spectacular, but gentle rolling countryside, quintessentially English. And there are several long closed stations, now private homes, but often still retaining features like old water tanks for replenishing steam engines. Since we're airborne, let's have a look at the border city before returning to Vases, landing and heading for my train home. Upperby Yard, which, prior to the 1923 grouping, was the locomotive and carriage base of the London and North Western Railway, Britain's and the world's largest. And there's the tight curve at London Road Junction, used today to reverse steam locos hauling charter trains. The large red building is the View Cinema, with the Citadel station beyond it, and a London-bound Avanti Pendolino entering from the north. Dixon's Chimney, a Carlisle landmark visible for miles around, and beyond in the distance, the Solway Firth and Scotland, home for me. I didn't get to film on the coast, but at least I'll be home at a decent hour and won't have to face that 2-mile slog over the hill in the cold and dark. Thank you for watching, and here's to the next time.